Good morning, our headlines at 6 o'clock. It is a new term for more children in England, but there's frustration from parents and teachers as the government has yet to publish a full list of schools at risk from crumbling concrete.
Ukraine says it has punched through Russian lines in its counteroffensive in the south of the country.
Living with MND, the families of two sporting legends, Rob Burrow and Ed Slater, share their hopes and fears for the future.
Life is for living, and I think we've got to keep that hope and positivity and keep fighting.
Good morning. Spreading the cost of living. More and more people are choosing buy now, pay later options to cover the daily essentials, including groceries and bills. I have all the details.
Rice to the rescue as Arsenal's record signing scores in stoppage time to help them beat Manchester United in the Premier League.
Also today, Ryanair says more than 350 of its flights were cancelled as a result of air traffic control failures that caused disruption for passengers flying in and out of the UK at the end of last month. The airline says 63,000 of its passengers were affected. An initial report into the incident is due to be released later this week. Staying with transport, nearly half of all trains in Britain were at least 1 minute late between January and July of this year. That's according to new BBC figures. Huddersfield station had the highest rate of cancelled trains. Network Rail says it's working closely with train operating companies to improve.
Let's have a look at this morning's paper, shall we? We're going to start with The Guardian. Lots of the front pages carry the latest on crumbling concrete in schools. Guardian reporting that money to fix buildings would come from the Department for Education's existing budget for buildings and not from additional funds.
Elsewhere, The Telegraph quotes the policing minister, Chris Philp, who says that forces must investigate shoplifting offences, even if the goods are worth less than £200.
The Mirror has an interview with the Labour leader, Sir Keir Starmer, who promises not to increase income tax in what it says is a major election promise. He tells the paper his party will do nothing to increase the burden on working people.
And the Mail reports that there's been a dramatic tenfold rise, they say, in the number of council employees given permission to work from overseas. It claims the figure has risen from 73 in the year 2020 to 2021 to more than 700 last year.
And we just want to share a really fantastic picture with you. The RAF Red Arrows display team performed for thousands of people at the Bournemouth Air Festival yesterday. So that was Spitfires, Lancaster Bombers and Typhoons also seen during the event, which was held for the 15th time over the weekend.
I love how neat that is.
Yes,
the red,
impressive.
blue vapour trails of the Red Arrows. They do that, apparently, by mixing 75% diesel, 25% colour dye into the hot exhaust. I never knew that's how it worked. I sort of thought it was a powder of some sort.
It's clever.
That makes sense. It just goes in the engine, and then there you go.
Beautiful picture. Love that.
So
gorgeous blue sky.
Neat, isn't it? Love it.
Yeah.
But then at the front pages, let's see what's dominating. Now, the Eye there leading on the concrete crisis on schools with the headline, Hunt vows to make schools safe at any cost, but there's no new money. And that story also featuring there on the front page of The Guardian. And also The Times, which says that hundreds of schools are still in the dark. And the front of the Mirror reports on Sir Keir Starmer's promise not to raise income tax. And the Telegraph reveals that Rishi Sunak is set to overturn a ban on building new onshore wind farms. Financial Times there says that Russia's banks are being propped up by Chinese cash after sanctions. And Metro there, Save Our Staff there, reads its front page as Tesco bosses call for more protection for staff against abusive customers. And councils are allowing staff to work from the bench. That's what the Daily Mail is leading with. Oh, the beach, that is, not the bench. Where did I read that? Did I read that one? And Trick or Heat. The Daily Star there reports that the UK's heat wave will burn until Halloween. The beach and the bench, very big things, very big differences, isn't there? Right, if you want to see any of those front pages again or read their stories, just scan the QR code, which is on your screen.